Welcome to the Sales Automation Mania Introduction and Interview. I'm Jake Vinoy, one of the principals of Northwood Software, and I'm glad you've taken the time to watch these videos and learn a little bit about SAM. We think that the time you spend now will more than be paid back by the things that SAM can do for you in helping you run your business. The problem that we're trying to address with SAM is that ACT provides no automation for the steps of a sales process or for the steps of any process you might want to do within ACT. This creates a situation of hunt and peck follow-up, lead follow-up, where the salesman comes in the morning and is immediately faced with, well, what do I do now? Well, geez, let me do a lookup and see if I can find the contacts that were created last week, and well, maybe I'll call them. It's just, there was no way to automate or to drive a process such that you could guarantee every contact was touched at the right times. So a standard repeatable process with ACT alone simply relies too much on perfection in your salespeople. And at least in our own experience with our own ACT database, we didn't do it. The other thing is time is wasted doing things like follow-up letters. And those are things that can be automated and just done at the push of a button rather than you having to create a lookup of the contacts that were created today and doing a mail merge and sending them a thank you for visiting our website, blah, blah, blah. Or finding that same group of contacts 2 weeks from now and sending them the follow-up letter. You don't have the time to do that. Neither did we. And in fact, we would spend time defining very nice templates for the first follow-up and the follow-up to be sent, maybe 2 weeks later. And then with our best intentions, we would completely blow the whole thing. We would send the first letter maybe after 3 weeks. So we'd find all the contacts that had been added in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We'd send them all a mail which said, thank you for visiting our website, even though some of them had been like 1 day and some of them had been 3 weeks. They were all getting the same mail. And then the second follow-up mail that which we had defined probably never got used because we never remembered to go back and follow up. At least that's the way it was at our place, and we felt that there had to be a better way. Activity series were ACT 2000's attempt to solve this, but they don't provide automation. Activity series just wake the salesperson up individually for each contact at the point that it's supposed to do something. And it's like an alarm bell going off saying, okay, it's time to do something for this contact. Now it's time to do something for this contact. And if those things are like sending emails, it's a total waste of your salesperson's time. Activity series also don't respond to changes in the contact, so that if the salesperson decides that this is a high priority contact and needs to be followed up very rapidly, the activity series don't respond to that. And there's also no branching of take this path based on the fact that we have an email address or that branch based on all we have is a phone number. So there needed to be more. The solution is Sales Automation Mania, SAM. It's a tool that can automate the repetitive tasks and the time-consuming tasks. It can give you more time to sell and help you make more sales. Those are all good things. Our goal when we started Sales Automation Mania was to automate everything that could be automated to free up the time of a salesperson. Some of that means offloading some parts of this onto an administrator if you choose to do that, which we think that's always a good trade-off. If you can give the administrator something to do and free up the salesperson, that's a good thing for your company. So we wanted to be able to implement sophisticated sales process automation, branching, waiting for events, waiting for meetings to happen. We wanted automatic emails, letter printing, faxing, activity scheduling, all to be driven off of the scripts, the campaigns that you write. One ACT consultant, ACT certified consultant, after seeing SAM, called it the activity series on steroids, and we thought that that was a good description. So, what can you do with SAM? You can implement something as simple as a follow-up, an email follow-up campaign where the campaign is entered when the contact is entered into your database. It sends a follow-up mail the next day. It waits a week. It sends another follow-up mail, and then waits 6 months and sends another one. I mean, whatever you want. Just sends 2, 3, 4 letters. It can be as complicated as scheduling the process of showing a house to a customer, waiting for their wife to see the thing, scheduling activities like mortgage, getting the mortgage, and the steps of going through the closing. So it can be used for anything in between. I mean, it's a set of simple primitives which can be used in simple ways or in very creative ways. And you can probably think of things that we haven't thought of to implement with SAM. So there's a lot of power there. It can also be used to control your salespeople. If you want to be sure that the leads that are coming into your business are followed up with a standard process and that you can track that process through reporting, SAM is also a mechanism that will let you do that. It will let you see what stages customers are in, leads are in, what activities are pending, which phone calls have been made, and it will let you keep the thumb of oppression on your sales force if you choose to do that. Some companies like to run that way, some don't. Totally up to you. You use SAM to drive the process that your company wants to run. An early adopter of SAM was a car dealership, and they had a lot of things that they were doing by hand or that weren't getting done, and they brought SAM in and we worked with them to define the campaigns, and they are very thrilled at the results. Here's the quote. We have 10 salespeople at our car dealership. Using SAM, we've instituted a follow-up program for both prospects and customers that is not only fully automated, but flexible and personal. Every day, SAM spits out a batch of letters for the sales staff to sign and send. The results from this campaign have been tremendous in gaining secondary opportunities. Because of the automatic follow-up, our sales are up, and we have turned many visiting contacts into buying customers as a result of the diligence in phone calls and letters, all programmed to encourage them to back into the dealership. We have gotten a great return on our investment. Thanks so much. This same car dealership also has a oil change campaign defined and a birthday campaign defined. So they're sending out birthday letters. They're doing oil change memos for people that have bought cars there and had their cars serviced there. So they've thought of a lot of creative ways to build different campaigns across their database. The next part of this is concepts. I'm going to break this video here and start recording another one so that we don't push Windows Media too much. So this is the end of part 1. Thank you.